The plasma cannon screamed overhead as Marcus Chen dove behind the twisted wreckage of what used to be his apartment building. The Zephyrian invasion had turned New Tokyo into a burning wasteland in less than 6 hours. But that wasn't the strangest part of his day. The strangest part was the 3-foot-tall blue woman standing next to him, calmly adjusting her silver wedding dress while buildings exploded around them. "Marcus," Zara said in her melodic voice, completely unbothered by the chaos, "we should discuss the sleeping arrangements." "Sleeping arrangements?" Marcus gasped, still trying to catch his breath. "Zara, we literally just got married 5 minutes ago, and your people are trying to kill us." She tilted her head, her large violet eyes blinking slowly. "My people are not trying to kill us. They are trying to kill you. There is a difference." Another explosion rocked the street. Marcus grabbed Zara's hand, which was surprisingly warm despite her blue skin, and pulled her deeper into the rubble. "Why did you marry me if your own species wants me dead?" "'Cause," she said matter-of-factly, "humans are about to become extinct, and I found you. ... Interesting." Marcus had met Zara 3 weeks ago at the Interspecies Cultural Exchange Center. She was working as a translator when the first Safarian ships appeared in Earth's atmosphere. While world leaders scrambled to make contact, she had approached him with an unusual proposal. "Marry me," she had said, "and I will protect you from what is coming." At the time, Marcus thought she was crazy. Now, watching her small form shimmer, with some kind of energy shield that deflected falling debris, he was starting to think she might be his only chance at survival. "There is something I should have mentioned before the ceremony," Zara said, as they took shelter in what remained of a subway entrance. "What now?" Marcus wiped blood from a cut on his forehead. "Zephyrian marriage customs are different from human ones." The ground shook again. In the distance, Marcus could see massive ships hovering over the city, their weapons charging for another strike. Different how? Zara looked uncomfortable for the first time since he'd met her. When a Zephyrian female takes a mate, her sisters gain certain ... rights. Rights to what? To the mate? What? Marcus stared at her. "Come again?" "In our culture, when one sister chooses a partner, all sisters share in the bond. It ensures genetic diversity and strengthens family ties." "Are you telling me?" Marcus started, then stopped as the implication hit him. "How many sisters do you have?" Zara's cheeks turned a deeper shade of blue. 47. The world seemed to stop spinning. Even the explosions outside faded to background noise as Marcus processed what she had just told him. 47 sisters, who all expect to ... share me. "It is not as complicated as it sounds," Zara said quickly. "There is a rotation schedule. Very organized, very efficient." "This is insane. This is survival," Zara corrected. "The Zephyrian High Command has ordered the extinction of humanity. Bonds are sacred. By marrying into our family, you become protected. All of you." "All of who?" Zara smiled, and for the first time Marcus noticed her teeth were slightly pointed. "Did I not mention? My sisters are quite fond of human males. They have already begun selecting their own mates." Chapter 2, The Underground 6 hours later. Marcus found himself in an underground bunker that seemed to stretch for miles beneath the ruined city. The walls were covered in a strange, organic-looking material that pulsed with soft light. And everywhere he looked, there were more blue-skinned women. "Welcome to the hive," Zara said, leading him through corridors filled with her sisters. "We have been preparing this place for many years." "Preparing for what?" "For the day we would need to save your species." Marcus stopped walking. Around them continued their tasks. Some were tending to wounded humans. Others were working on complex machinery he didn't recognize. "You knew this was going to happen. We knew it was likely. The High Command has destroyed 17 civilizations. In the past century, humans were always going to be next." A tall Zephyrian woman approached them. She looked exactly like Zara, except her skin was a slightly different shade of blue, and her hair was white instead of silver. "Sister," the woman said, nodding to Zara, before turning her intense gaze on Marcus, "this is your mate?" "Yes, Kira. Marcus, meet my eldest sister." Kira walked slowly around Marcus, studying him like a scientist examining a specimen. He is smaller than I expected, Marcus protested. I'm 5'10". That's perfectly average for a human, perhaps. Kira's expression was unreadable. Can he fight? I took some martial arts classes in college, Marcus said weakly. Kira looked at Zara. You chose this one to help save humanity? I chose him for other reasons, Zara replied, her cheeks darkening again. Other reasons? Marcus asked. Later, Zara said quickly. First, let me show you the others. She led him deeper into the complex, where Marcus discovered something that made his brain stop working entirely. In a vast chamber, filled with comfortable furniture and soft lighting, dozens of human men were living alongside Zephyrian women. Some were playing games, others were engaged in animated conversations, and a few were, well, it was clear they were very comfortable with their new living situations. Each of my sisters chose a human male to protect, Zara explained. When the invasion began, we brought them all here. Marcus recognized some faces from around the city, his neighbor Tom from down the hall, the barista from his favorite coffee shop, even his old high school math teacher, Mr. Rodriguez. How did you choose who to save? Marcus asked. Compatibility assessments, genetic diversity requirements, and ... Zara paused. Personal preference, younger-looking Zephyrian woman, bounced over to them. Her skin was lighter blue than Zara's, almost turquoise, and she seemed barely able to contain her excitement. Is this him? Is this Zara's mate? She asked. In rapid-fire speech, he is cute. Can one not yet? Lyra, Zara said firmly. Give him time to adjust. Adjust to what? Marcus asked, though he was afraid he already knew the answer.
Asked us,
said another voice. Marcus turned to see another sister approaching this one with dark blue skin and intricate tattoos covering her arms. I am Nova. I specialize in human psychology. You are experiencing shock, confusion, and underlying fear masked by curiosity. This is normal. Is it normal that I feel like I'm losing my mind? Very normal. Most of the males go through a similar adjustment period. Marcus looked. Around the chamber again? How long have you been planning this? Decades, Nova said. We knew the High Command would eventually target Earth. We have been studying human culture, learning your languages, understanding your psychology and physiology. Why? Marcus asked. Why save us at all? The three sisters exchanged glances. Finally, Zara spoke. Because we believe humanity has something valuable to offer the galaxy, something worth preserving. What's that? Hope, she said simply. Your species faces extinction, yet you continue to create art, to love, to dream of better futures. Most civilizations lose that when faced with annihilation. An alarm suddenly echoed through the chamber. All conversations stopped as the lights shifted to a pulsing red. What's that? Marcus asked. Kira's voice came over some kind of communication system. All sisters to battle stations. The High Command has found us. Chapter 3. The truth about family. The attack came at dawn. Dawn still had any meaning in their underground world. Marcus woke to the sound of energy weapons and screaming. The bed he'd been given was soft and warm, but the woman lying next to him wasn't Zara. Good morning, mate, said the turquoise-skinned woman from yesterday, Lyra. She stretched like a cat, completely unconcerned by the chaos erupting around them. Where's Zara? Marcus asked, jumping out of bed and grabbing his clothes. Fighting, of course, it is Tuesday. What does Tuesday have to do with anything? Lyra looked at him with confusion. Tuesday is Zara's combat day. Wednesday is mine. Thursday belongs to Nova. Did she not explain the schedule? The schedule for what? Everything silly. Combat duties, domestic responsibilities, mating rotations. Marcus froze while pulling on his shirt. Mating rotations? Of course. We cannot all share you at once. That would be chaos. We are civilized beings. Another explosion shook dust. From the ceiling, Marcus could hear shouting in the corridors outside their chamber. Look, he said, I'm flattered, really, but I married Zara, not 47 different women. Lyra tilted her head with the same confused expression Zara often. War. You married into the family. In Zephyrian culture, there is no difference. There's a huge difference in human culture. But you are not human anymore, Lyra said, matter-of-factly. We're family. Before Marcus could process that statement, the door to their chamber exploded inward. Human male, you will come with us, the lead soldier commanded. Lyra moved faster than Marcus thought possible. One moment she was lying in bed, the next she was standing between him and the soldiers. Her small form radiating that same energy, shield he'd seen Zara use. This male is under family protection, she said, her voice carrying an authority that belied her youthful appearance. Family protection has been revoked by order of the High Command, the soldier replied. All human. Males are to be terminated immediately, and you will have to terminate me first. The standoff lasted only seconds before the soldier raised his weapon, but he never got the chance to fire. Nova appeared behind the soldiers like a shadow, and in a series of movements too fast for Marcus to follow, all three were unconscious. On the floor, we need to move, Nova said. The High Command has deployed hunter-killers specifically designed to track human genetic signatures. What does that mean? Marcus asked, as they ran through corridors filled with smoke and the sound. A battle. It means, Nova replied, not even breathing hard despite their pace. They have decided that our protection of humans violates Zephyrian law. We are now considered traitors. They emerged into the main chamber to find chaos. Zephyrian sisters were fighting Zephyrian soldiers while human men huddled in protected alcoves. The organic walls were scorched with weapon fire, and several sections of the ceiling had collapsed. Marcus spotted Zara near the center of the battle. She was wielding some kind of energy staff, moving with deadly grace as she fought three soldiers. At once, her wedding dress was torn and stained, but she looked magnificent. She is beautiful in combat, is she not? Lyra said proudly. She's going to get herself killed. Unlikely. Zara has never lost a battle. As if she heard them talking. Zara glanced in their direction. In that moment of distraction, one of the soldiers managed to land a blow that sent her spinning across the chamber. Marcus ran toward her without thinking. He had no weapons, no training, no chance against Zephyrian soldiers. But something inside him, something primal and protective over, rode his common sense. He tackled the soldier who had struck Zara, knocking the alien off balance. The soldier was stronger, faster, and better armed. But Marcus had one advantage: desperation. They grappled for control of the soldier's weapon. Marcus felt ribs crack as the alien threw him against a wall, but he held on. Round them, the battle raged, but Marcus's world had narrowed to this single fight. Then Zara was there, her energy staff piercing through the soldier's armor. The alien collapsed and Zara pulled Marcus to his feet. That was very foolish, she said. It was very human. He replied. She smiled, and for a moment, the chaos around them faded. Yes, it was. Kira's voice echoed through the chamber. All family members, retreat to the deep tunnels. We cannot hold this position. As they ran deeper underground, Marcus realized something had changed. The other sisters no longer looked at him like a curiosity or a possession. They looked at him like ... family. The deep tunnels lead to the launch bays, Zara explained as they fled. We have ships hidden there, ships that can take us far from here. Where would we go? There are other worlds, Marcus. Those worlds where humans and Zephyrians can live together without the High Command's interference. You're talking about leaving Earth forever. Zara stopped running and turned to face him. Behind them, explosions echoed through the tunnels as the soldiers pursued them. Earth is dying, Marcus. Even if we could defeat the High Command here, your planet is becoming uninhabitable. This was always meant to be a temporary refuge. About everyone else? The billions of humans who don't have Zephyrian wives to protect them? The sisters around them exchanged glances. Finally, Nova spoke up. We can only save a few thousand. The ships have limited capacity. Marcus felt the weight of that statement. So we just abandon everyone else? We save who we can, Zara said. Gently, and we ensure that humanity survives to see another dawn. Sometimes, that is the best we can do. HFY Chapter 4. The choice the launch bay was a marvel of Zephyrian engineering, a vast cavern carved from solid rock. Filled with sleek, ships that seemed to be grown rather than built. Their surfaces rippled with the same organic patterns as the tunnel walls, and they hummed with barely contained energy. Marcus stood at the observation deck, watching as the last of the rescued humans boarded the vessels below. Families of Zephyrian sisters worked with military precision, ensuring their chosen mates and their human companions were safe and secure. Second thoughts? Zara asked, joining him at the railing. Third and fourth thoughts, Marcus admitted. This morning I was a software engineer worried about paying rent. Now, I'm apparently the husband of 47 alien women fleeing Earth on a spaceship. 46, Zara corrected. What 46? Senna decided she preferred the accountant from downtown. She is no longer part of our marriage bond. Marcus wasn't sure if he should feel relieved or offended. How does that work exactly? The marriage bond? Zara leaned against the railing, her violet eyes reflecting the light from the ships below. It is difficult to explain in human terms. When we bond with a mate, we share not just physical connection, but emotional and psychic links as well. Each sister contributes something different to the relationship, such as Kira provides strength and leadership. Nova offers wisdom and understanding. Lyra brings joy and spontaneity. Each of us has a role in ensuring the family's harmony and survival. And what do you provide? Zara smiled. I chose you. That is my role, to be the bridge between you and the family. A commotion near the loading ramps drew their attention. A group of human men were arguing with their Zephyrian partners, their voices echoing through the cavern. I won't leave without my daughter, one man shouted. She's still out there somewhere. The surface is too dangerous, replied his Zephyrian. Mate, the hunter-killers have spread throughout the city. We cannot risk she's my daughter. Marcus recognized the man, Dr. James Patterson, a medical researcher from the university. His Zephyrian wife was trying to calm him, but other humans were joining the argument. We can't just abandon everyone, another voice called out. What about our families? Our friends? What about the children in the refugee camps? What about the elderly who can't defend themselves? The argument was spreading, and Marcus could see the careful order of the evacuation beginning to break down. Some humans were refusing to board the ships, while others were demanding to go back to the surface to search for loved ones. This was inevitable, Nova said, appearing beside them. Humans form emotional attachments that often override logical decision-making. Is that a bad thing? Marcus asked. Not bad, just complicated. Nova studied the scene below. We anticipated this reaction. That is why we chose mates who would be willing to make difficult choices. What if I'm not willing? Both sisters looked at him. What do you mean? Zara asked. Marcus took a deep breath. What if I'm not willing to abandon Earth? What if there's another way? Marcus Era said carefully. The High Command has overwhelming military superiority. Even with all our sisters fighting together, we cannot defeat them in open combat. Then we don't fight them in open combat. Kira's voice joined the conversation as she approached their group. What are you suggesting? Marcus turned to face all. 3 sisters. You said humans have something valuable to offer the galaxy. Something worth preserving, yes. Hope, then let's use that. Let's give your people something they've never seen before, reason to change. The High Command does not change, Kira said flatly. They conquer or they destroy. They have done so for 1,000 years. But they've never encountered anything like this, have they? Marcus gestured toward the mixed groups of humans and Zephyrians working together below. They've never seen their own people willing to risk everything to protect another species. Nova's eyes lit up with understanding. You are suggesting a revolution. I'm suggesting something better than a revolution. I'm suggesting evolution. Psst. Grabbed his arm.
Marcus.
What you are proposing is incredibly dangerous. If the High Command believes we are trying to spread this way of thinking to other Zephyrian colonies, they'll what? Try to destroy us? They're already doing? That, an alarm klaxon suddenly blared through the cavern. Kira immediately activated a communication device on her wrist. Report, she commanded. The High Command fleet has entered the upper atmosphere, came the reply. They are preparing to deploy molecular disruptors on the entire continent. Molecular disruptors? Marcus asked. They will reduce everything in a 500-mile radius to its component atoms, Nova explained grimly. No survivors, no evidence. The cavern erupted in activity as the final preparations for departure began. But Marcus noticed something else. The human men who had been arguing were now helping to load supplies, their Zephyrian partners working beside them with grim determination. "They're not running anymore," he observed. "No," Zara agreed. "They are not." Marcus made his decision. "Send a message to the High Command." "What?" all three sisters said simultaneously. "Send them a message. Tell them we want to negotiate." "Marcus," Kira said, "the High Command does not negotiate. They issue ultimatums." "Then we'll give them one." Before any of the sisters could protest, Marcus activated the communication system himself. The device responded to his touch apparently. Being bonded to Zara gave him access to their technology. "High Command vessels, this is Marcus Chen, speaking on behalf of the Human Zephyrian Alliance." Static crackled from the speakers. Then a cold, mechanical voice responded, "There is no such alliance. Surrender the traitors and prepare for termination." "Actually, there is such an alliance, and it's growing." Marcus looked at Zara, who nodded encouragingly despite her obvious fear. "We have something to offer the Zephyrian Empire," Marcus continued. "Something your people have never experienced in 1,000 years of conquest. Humans have nothing we require. We have love." Silence filled the channel. Around the cavern, everyone had stopped what they were doing to listen. "We have the ability to form bonds that transcend species, that make us stronger together than we ever were apart. Your own people have discovered this, that's why they risked everything to protect us." "Emotional attachments are weakness," the voice replied, but Marcus detected something different in its tone. "Uncertainty, maybe? Are they? Look at what your people have accomplished here. Yes, they've created something unprecedented in Zephyrian Historia, society, based on cooperation instead of domination. It is an aberration that will be corrected. It's the future," Marcus said firmly. "And if you try to destroy it, you'll only prove that the High Command is afraid of change, afraid of growth, afraid of becoming something better than conquerors." Another long silence. "Then you have 1 hour to surrender the traitors. If you refuse, the molecular disruptors will be deployed." The channel closed. Marcus turned to find every human and Zephyrian in the cavern staring at him. "Well," Lyra said cheerfully, "that could have gone better." Epilogue. The New Dawn 1 year. Later, Marcus stood on the observation deck of the orbital station, watching Earth slowly heal in the viewport below. The blue marble was still scarred from the invasion, but green was returning to the continents, and the lights of human cities were beginning to flicker back to life. "The reconstruction is ahead of schedule," Zara said, joining him with their morning tea. She was showing now Faye months pregnant with their first child. A miracle of Zephyrian medical science that allowed cross-species reproduction. "Any word from the outer colonies?" Marcus asked. 3 more worlds have declared independence from the High Command. They want to establish their own Human Zephyrian Alliance programs. Marcus smiled. "The High Command must be thrilled. They are... adapting. Nova's psychological analysis suggests they're beginning to understand that cooperation yields better results than conquest. It only took them 1,000 years to figure that out." Zara laughed, the sound like wind chimes in. A gentle breeze. "Change comes slowly to my people, but it does come." The door to the observation deck opened, and Lyra bounced in with her characteristic enthusiasm. She was also pregnant, apparently. The whole sister-sharing thing had some interesting biological implications that Marcus was still trying to understand. Marcus. "Zara, come quickly. You need to see this." They followed her to the communications center, where a crowd had gathered around the main display screen. On it was a live feed from the High Command's central planet, showing something that would have been unthinkable a year ago. Zephyrian citizens were marching in the streets not as conquerors or soldiers, but as protesters. They carried signs written in multiple languages, demanding the right to form their own bonds with other species. "The revolution is spreading," Nova announced from her position at the control station. 17 colonies have now reported similar demonstrations. "In the High Command's response?" Marcus asked. "Confusion mostly. They have never faced internal dissent before. They do not know how to respond without destroying their own infrastructure. Kira appeared on the screen from her position aboard. One of the diplomatic vessels, Council of Elders, has agreed to formal negotiations. They want to discuss the terms of a new galactic alliance. Marcus felt Zara's hand slip into his, her warm fingers intertwining with his own. Around them, humans and Zephyrians worked side by side, their children playing together in the corridors. Their futures intertwined in ways that would have been impossible to imagine just a year ago. "So," he said to Zara, "how many of your sisters are planning to have kids this year?" "All of them," she replied with a grin. Marcus's eyes widened. "All 46, 47, actually." Xena changed her mind about the accountant. Something about his tax preparation skills being inadequate for interspecies family planning. "I'm going to need a bigger apartment. We are having a space station." "Built," Lyra chimed in helpfully. "Very roomy. Excellent schools. And the artificial gravity system has been calibrated for optimal child-rearing conditions." Marcus looked around at his unusual family, his 47 wives, his adopted human brothers, his extended network of friends and allies spanning multiple species. It wasn't the life he had planned, but it was the life he had chosen, and it was magnificent, he said to Zara as they watched Earth turn slowly below them. "When you asked me to marry you, you never mentioned that I'd end up helping to reshape galactic civilization. Would it have changed your answer?" "Considered this seriously? Probably not. Though I might have asked for a bigger wedding ring." Zara laughed and pulled him closer. Outside the viewport, the first human Cepharian colony ship was beginning its journey to the stars, carrying families and dreams to worlds that had never known anything but conquest. The age of empire was ending. The age of family was just beginning, and somewhere in the depths of space, a child kicked in its mother's womb, carrying the genetic legacy of 2 species and the hope of 1,000 worlds yet to be born.